Good morning, and thank you for joining us on today's breakfast show.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. And welcome to the Breakfast Show. Well, we've been able to flip through some pages of the newspaper. My guest joins me on the program as we discuss the CBN limit policy. CBN limits cash withdrawal to 100,000 naira weekly and 500,000 naira for the corporate organizations. For individuals, about 100,000 naira and 20,000 maximum daily ATM withdrawal. Lots of reactions as regards this particular policy. Well, to join me is an economic expert and, of course, one who has always been in front line when it comes to discussing decisions by the Apex Bank. Well, I have Dr. Aliyu Ilyas join me on the program. Doctor, good morning this morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Can you hear me, Doctor?
Yes,
All
I
right.
can
Can
hear
you hear me
you. Good
clearly?
morning.
Well, this is another development by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Some persons, in fact, some papers have said were in a move to reduce vote buying in 2023. The Central Bank is making this particular decision, and reactions from different other persons. For the Central Bank of Nigeria has said that this will take effect from January 8th, 2023. Your reaction to this particular policy? Let's kick off from there.
All right, thank you. So the responsibility of the APEC to at every point in time come with policy that will fit Nigeria and the citizens of Nigeria. However, it appears that central bank is a lot of policy challenges and which Nigerians are becoming at the end of this policy. In as much as it's a very good one, good electronic banking, whereby people are reducing people from using cash in virtual level. But if you look at this one, it comes at the time that a lot of things is coming on board. We have Naira being redesigned, and because Naira being redesigned, they are coming at the back end of that, and now to reduce the amount of in the public advantage, because if you look at the cost of producing the naira itself, it's very humongous, and there's need for us to really discourage people using cash. But who are at the receiving end of this? You agree with me that this point of says that POS are going to be at the receiving end of this, because you are now saying that not transact more than 200,000 naira in a day. So it means that a POS has limited drastically, and because it has been drastically, it simply means his well-being, his income has also reduced. So we are practically discourage people from doing that business. And also, you also said that POS cannot also pay more than 20,000 naira a daily and 100,000 in a week. If you look at all this, it's going to a serious issue with a market woman. And you and I will agree that a bag is around 30,000 naira. So are you now saying that I cannot use my cash to buy a bag of rice at this point in time, except I do transfer? And you know, a typical market woman who have a lot of trust on this electronic because most people still think there could be fake, there could be auto. Even our infrastructure is a problem. Time you send money through POS, and it will show you that it has gone. After some minutes, it will show you reverse, and you still get that receipt. You can now show that SMS or that receipt the money has gone and the money reversed to me. So the infrastructure is another problem to look. In addition to that, you also need to look at MSME. Most small and medium scale enterprises also use little cash. So this is a serious problem. So I would think that there could be more time, because the major issue now is that CBN is so fixated on achieving this from January 9th. So I don't know why the sudden rush in policy. Policy should be given some period so that people can adequately prepare for such policy to manifest.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us on today's breakfast show. Surround yourself with people that motivate you. As much as nobody is happy about the accident. God, that I was so strong that I did not work. But because I was connected with my neighbors, all they do was to open the door.
All right, Doctor, thank you so much for staying with us. Well, we had a little technical issue right there, but back to my question. Let me just begin to you again. You talked about a lot of things, especially as regards, the common man that will be affected, the market women that will be affected. But some experts have also said that, well, this is a good way to see how the cashless policy that the CBN has been advocating for will also come to stay. Don't forget that the e-Naira that Central Bank alongside the federal government also launched some months ago is also another indication, probably to also boost the effect of it in our country, Nigeria. But away from that, the POS terminal operators now, in one of the dailies, they're planning a protest to the federal government, to make sure that the federal government see towards this particular policy. We said that this policy will kill their businesses, and you recall that mobile money operators now. This particular structure has helped reduce unemployment in our country effectively. How do we balance this from the Central Bank of Nigeria with the policy and the federal government dealing with this particular issue?
Moderately, it's going to affect this POS operators, because majority of them will have to leave that business, and because if you don't have good income, it definitely have to move on. So it's going to create more joblessness, and it's going to also increase the crime if we don't change this. However, also CBN is preaching financial inclusion every day. And financial inclusion, now these people will have to move from this business. So people in the rural areas, people in a place that they cannot access bank, and they need a sum that is 100,000 naira in a day. It's not going to affect their business. It's going to affect the business. In as we want financial, we want electronic transfer. We still have to do by creating more opportunity. How well people are included in this financial inclusion, and how well have you planned for these people that are going to be affected? Not from even a POS operator, which is the business. You also need to look at market women who need cash to operate his or her business. Like I made mention, if I want to buy things now, minimum wage don't have to consider, because if you say you cannot get such amount, I am of the opinion increase amount, not that you say a corporate organization cannot access more than 500. However, I think 5% and 10% charge is to do this type, because if you look at 10% on 500,000, that's about 50,000. How much is even the such a huge amount? So I think it should be reviewed, and majorly it can be extended to a level. Let me bring this to you. This is December. During December, you and I know that we all need to go to market to purchase, to buy goods and services. So why buying rice, buying clothing, 20,000 cannot solve the day problem. So it needs to be reviewed, maybe to the sum of naira, and maybe like that respective, so that you can really get that financial inclusion that we're expecting in monetary.
All right, Doctor. Well, part of this particular procedure or the policy is that the highest denomination that will now be available at the ATM will be 200 naira, and that's the highest denomination now that will be available. How will that help the value of naira as we speak right now? You and I know that inflation and many other factors are affecting the global space, but how will naira stand at this point and balance itself?
The fact remains that if you look at insecurity, I think that policy is going to help and reduce crime rates, especially kidnapping and ransom payment of ransom. I would argue it's going to affect. But the thing is now that denominations tend to be bigger. So when you withdraw 20,000 naira, that is 200 naira, it reflects more on you. But when it's 100 naira, 1,000 naira, more. So I think that is even on one side that is fair, so that we can really encourage people to do online transaction. The only challenge is that people will now be left with carrying such a big notes. Let me say big notes. That's just the, but in terms of security, I think this was a whole lot, because when these people even get to kidnap some people, take them to withdraw from a POS, the highest amount people can withdraw now 20,000 naira. The ATM, the highest amount is also a very small currency. So I think that is fine. Is that sometimes we still need to be more humane, that it has to extend to, and there should be a lot of sensitization. Like I said, people are going to suffer more, especially market women who need cash to do business. So you are discouraging people from purchasing if they don't have access to bank or access to POS or access to every transaction. And I must tell you, like I said earlier, there's also that fear. So CBN must do more on creating enabling infrastructure that will help our financial transaction online.
All right, you wrote an article that is the implication of the free fall of Naira on the Nigerian economy. Now, this is happening at this point in time. Naira is falling. It's trying as much as possible. Like I rightly said, the strength of our legal tender now. Do you think this policy might actually boost it, and we have a strong Naira, to stand equal with other major currencies in the global space?
Well, if you look at the major maybe other countries, they are put a lot, and it takes them a lot of time to come up with this, and it's come with a lot of incentive. People are more educated. The market is much more linked. In fact, you wouldn't know if you're in a rural or in an urban setting. So now, all of Naira come with the that foreign exchange is a problem, and it has to be foreign exchange policy. Have we changed our mainstay of the economy, oil and gas? Have we been able to work on our forex? These are the problems. Free fall of Naira will still continue, except we have considerable production level and considerable what we exchange for foreign currency aside from oil. So free fall of Naira, I'm not sure it will come short in a short while. We still need to do to engender more export-oriented activities than more oriented activities.
All right, a very big thank you, Dr. Ilyas Ali. Thank you so much, Alias. Thank you so much for being part of the conversation this morning. Well, with that short notification, and of course, you made it. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. And we wish Nigerians, and of course, you experts, you must keep talking so that these policies must be reviewed effectively. Thank you once again, Doctor, for being part of the breakfast show this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right. All right, we'll go for another break. When we return, we'll be talking about what's happening in the world of sport Qatar 2022. Lots of shockers and a lot of countries are moving to the next stage. After this break, we'll talk more on that. Stay with us, please.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us on today's breakfast show. Surround yourself with people that